Hey, Festivals! So welcome back to Faith on Friday. For this case, we are going back to Vegas. This case did kind of have like some national news coverage for a while. You may have already heard of our killer because apparently our killer was apparently doing some modeling. So that's kind of what she's mostly known for. The modeling and of course the crime I'm going to describe in the video. If you knew Kelsey or anybody else that I discussed in this video, just let me know. And so with that being said, I'm Quentin Rambling and let's get started. So Kelsey, the woman that we're going to be talking about today, she was born on May 5th, 1993 in Arkansas. By the time she's 18, she would be married to a man by the name of Jerry Turner, and they would have a daughter together by the name of Beverly. She would go to Arkansas State University, which is in Jonesboro, and she would get a degree in sports medicine. She would then move to California, basically to pursue her dream of modeling. As far as the modeling, from what I can find, she mostly is known for being in Maxim, which is a magazine, and basically the Italian version of Playboy, specifically the May 2017 edition. So then we meet the other major character in the story. We meet Thomas. Thomas Bouchard was born on February 16th, 1948. His family it doesn't say when, but his family moved from Virginia to Boston. In 1979, he basically pursues his career to be like a child psychologist. And then apparently in the year 2000, while on basically a boys trip, he winds up meeting a woman by the name of Judy. And from what it sounds like, Judy was apparently a single mom of 4 kids. But usually like that usually scares men. But Thomas, he literally is trained to like deal with kids, and I guess he really likes kids. So that didn't bother him. And apparently they were together, but they never got married. So it's said that the two apparently crossed paths in sometime like 2017. She apparently would find out that Thomas is very wealthy. Mind you, by this point, Thomas is like 79-ish. So he's like pretty old, but he has money saved up because he's been working at this career for a pretty long time. And so she's basically saying that how she can't get a place because she has bad credit, because some places literally will not take you if your credit's bad. And so he's over here basically doing monthly payments on a car and a house. Said house, she moves in her kids. Like I said, she had a kid, but I guess at some point she wants to have another one, and her mom. And then also apparently she's also getting like basically like a monthly allowance from this man. And it said over the course of them knowing each other, she is confirmed that she's gotten at least $300K out of him. So then Thomas was sadly started getting dementia. Judy was basically his girlfriend since 2000, and it's 2017, so they've been together 17 years. She basically said to him, hey, this young girl's taking advantage of you. You might want to cut her off, like financially, because she seems to only want you for the money. So then he's like, okay, I'll cut her off, but let me pay like 3 months of her rent. So that way the 3 months that are paid off, that's 3 months of rent that she's not have to worry about. And hopefully she can save and have something and she can start paying off herself. So then, of course, I guess Kelsey did not like the fact that her sugar daddy was basically about to cut her off. So then she apparently basically says, listen, I'm going to start telling people that you have been inappropriate with the children, that you are her psychologist. You're like seeing as their psychologist. So then, of course, like I said, this man works with children, so that would obviously ruin his career. And this man apparently sadly was very loved, like very well loved in his neighborhood. So then, of course, as basically to keep her from blackmailing him, he would keep paying her. So in 2018, apparently she moves to Vegas, where, like I said, her story takes place, to like pursue a modeling career. She would claim that she couldn't pay the bills, one of her kids got taken away, and that she was having an abusive boyfriend. Obviously, Thomas is still sending money. Judy apparently finds Kelsey's social media somehow and is like, this is what she's posting. She's spending the money on this, not rent. So then Thomas himself basically buys a plane ticket from where he was living to Vegas to basically like on March 1st, basically to like see it with his own eyes. And then once I see with my own eyes that she is in fact spending money on some bullshit, then I will actually cut her off. So the next day, apparently, Kelsey is apparently hanging out with Thomas, but she also has her boyfriend John and her roommates Diana and Jeremy. Apparently, Diana will start flirting with Thomas because I guess maybe Kelsey had told her how much money she was getting from Thomas. So maybe she was like, hey, let me try to take advantage. Let me try to get her sugar daddy too, essentially. Because I guess she didn't want to work for what she had. So then, of course, Kelsey gets pissed and tells her, basically go F off, essentially. Apparently, Kelsey then goes through Thomas's phone and then finds intimate messages between him and her own mom. So then, of course, even though her mom is like obviously a fully grown legal adult, she proceeds to basically pull out the false allegations that you were touching kids again. So then Thomas essentially would run to Kelsey's son's bedroom. It doesn't say the son was in there. I thought they would mention that. And basically locked himself in there, I guess like for protection. And Jeremy apparently would go grab a baseball bat and threaten to like basically push the door down if you don't open it. So then Diana apparently will be the one to break Thomas down, basically saying that he needs medical attention. Kelsey says we will take him to this particular room. Diana apparently takes him to a particular room, and while I'm done with him, you go basically clean up the kitchen. So apparently while she's going to clean up the kitchen, she basically hears Kelsey tell her boyfriend John to knock Thomas out. She apparently tries to go like run to see like we know what the hell's going on, and apparently she's not being let in the room where all this is happening at. So then Kelsey, pretty much after all this happens, she pretty much books her hotel room for her, John, and Diane. Jeremy would apparently come back but couldn't get in because he didn't have a key. He finds the hotel where they're staying at, and he gets basically the hotel key from them. Jeremy apparently would actually come back while police are there doing a welfare check, because I guess Judy by this point had called the police saying, hey, he's supposed to get back by this point, and he hadn't, and he has dementia, and I'm scared she might have done something to him. Understandably. They could not find any evidence that would get them in the house. And so then the trio come back actually the next day to basically like do some more cleaning, to dispose of evidence, because by this point, if you haven't already gathered, Thomas is already dead by this point, sadly. And then John would actually take Thomas's car and proceed to dump it into the desert. So I guess they weren't able to clean up the mess due to their satisfaction, I guess. So then they called in like some professional cleaners, basically have them clean it up. And they basically said that look, it was a party that got out of control. Which I mean, it's Vegas, it happens. They probably seen a lot worse. And so then obviously Judy understands, she calls police basically to do a welfare on Thomas 3 times, if I hadn't mentioned that already. And then the third time they come over, they see moving boxes, cleaning products. Apparently, one of the doors apparently had been broken off, and they saw that, and Thomas's bloody clothes. So then Thomas's car does get found. Thomas's body gets found, and then the car that Kelsey apparently was using was also found, but that car is written under somebody else's name. So of course they go to that dude, thinking maybe he may have done it, but he's like, no, I've been running out to this chick. Also the chick being Kelsey. So then Kelsey gets arrested. Then she basically brings Diana's name into this. So then Diana, Jeremy, and Kelsey are now all arrested. And apparently at this point, Kelsey apparently was pregnant again. And somehow apparently when you're pregnant, apparently that causes like legal delays. And then her father, because legal care is expensive. Now you done kill somebody. He was over trying to basically raise money basically for his daughter's legal expenses. Basically like, y'all donate money. My daughter done killed this innocent old man. And understandably that was taken down very quickly. So Diana would get 3 years probation. I guess on a plea deal. How would it have to have been? John gets 19 years. Kelsey gets 10 to 25 years. And apparently she would create a business, which has like a whole Instagram now, if you go look it up. Apparently called Bad Barbie LLC. So that's her business, I guess. And then she was supposed to be on a show that is on TLC called Love After Lockup, which basically is like, you basically trying to date somebody in prison, I guess like after they get out, and try to see if like you can make it work. And the show apparently never aired because she felt she was supposed to be getting paid for this, and also TLC wasn't going to pay her for it. And so yeah, that was the case of Kesley Turner, Playboy to Penitentiary. So like I said, if you knew Kelsey, definitely would know. If you were, I guess maybe not like a client of Thomas's, because that might be against some medical laws. I don't know now he's deceased. I'm not really sure how that works now. Anyway, but anyway, if you knew anybody involved in the case, whether it be Diana, Jeremy, John, any of them, definitely let me know. And so that being said, I cover faithful most 2 times a week. This is Carl for Funerals. I'll see you guys next one. Bye.
You get